Day number 2. Nothing quite hits like the first drink of water in the morning. Feeling kind of tired today, I'm not gonna lie, but that's usually the case after a long Sunday session. My voice sounds kind of hoarse, doesn't it? Anyway, we have our coffee on. Have more coffee, read, and then it's time to start work for the day. Morning coffee always has to have at least 3 pods. Here we go. Getting the rice on is also a very crucial part of the morning. See about 600 grams of rice in this. You can see there's also some chicken stock, salt and pepper. Literally one of the best things I've ever bought. Boom. Perfect rice every time. Okay, so we are in the office now, start of the day, and before I start any client work on a Monday, I do my own check-in, because as much as I work to serve my clients and work to serve others and help them, I kind of need to lead by example in the so I need to make sure that I am checking in with myself, and that's pretty much like the reason why I have like that kind of like 30 minutes in the morning or so to read, have my coffee. It's really just to focus on improving my own knowledge base, listening to my own thoughts, like what am I thinking, how am I feeling. And now, because it's Monday, I'm going to be filling out my business check-in. So I just have a sheet, which I'll show you now, which I just kind of track social media metrics, as well as then filling out my stuff for John, my coach. So yeah, I'll show you. So this is actually just me tracking my body weight here. I haven't actually tracked calories in this sheet in ages. And to be honest, I haven't really been tracking calories too rigidly. But I've been eating the same thing every day. So you can see my weight has been in the hundreds for almost 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. So obviously I'm eating appropriately to maintain my weight. So this is the business check-in sheet. So you see we've got clients, social media, Instagram, YouTube, and the podcast. So track all those and just keep an update on them every week. And then you've already seen this. This is my track, my RTS system. It's pretty cool. This is actually free to use. So if you're interested in kind of monitoring your training a little bit closer, you can use this for free. Now, the business check-in is actually something that I've only really started doing like recently, and the main reason I actually started doing it is because like I obviously keep track of finances and stuff like that already. However, I think it's sometimes when you're not tracking something, it's hard to really know if you're kind of making progress or what you're doing is working. And tracking, if you're a coach, tracking the likes of like social media metrics is one way for you to actually see that, is what you're doing working or is it not working. And again, if you're just looking at the kind of follower count, like acutely or something like that, or like conversion of that to clients or leads, then if you're just looking at it week to week, it's harder to really assess your progress. But when you look at it over a broader period of time and you can see consistently metrics are going up, then it makes you feel good. It's similar to the exact same way as like, if you're looking at your loads week to week in training, if you're looking at your loads week to week in training, if you're hitting the kind of similar kind of weights, you might not necessarily feel like you're making much, but then you zoom out and you look at it over the course of months and you're like, okay, I'm definitely adding kilos, the training's definitely working. And if it's not working, you just kind of reassess what you're kind of doing. So yeah, that's essentially why I'm using the business check-in. That's just a good way for me to stay accountable with what I'm looking to work towards with that. So anyway, I'm going to fill all this out and then I'm going to start my check-ins, have my day planned out here, as always. So write out everything, what I'm doing in regards to work, when I'm having my actual meals. So I write in when I'm having my meals. That's something I think I recommend a lot of my clients do, is when you're planning out your day, planning your meals and planning your activity. So you're planning the stuff first, which you have to do. So like the work, that's stuff that you have to do. You have an obligation to do that. But you also have to look after yourself, and that stuff needs to be planned in, because if you don't plan it in, it's likely that by the time you get to like the end of the day, you're like, oh fuck, I didn't actually have time for that today. It's like, no. You did have time, you just didn't plan it in. So yeah, I've got in my 2 walks for the day, I've got planned in all my meals, and I also have planned in like just like packing for the move. So, you know, just things that I need to do, because if I don't write them down, they're not going to happen. Some behind the scenes housework. The Canadians certainly don't like energy drinks the way the Americans do. Over here, like, the amount of caffeine they can have in them is still around 180 to 200 milligrams. You cross the border, and not only do you have access to, you know, cans that you can get up to like 300 plus milligrams of caffeine in one can, but you also have, like, the selection in the States is astronomical, you know. During prep, I was like drinking almost like 3 a day because I just wanted to try all the flavours when I got to the States, which in your final 2 weeks of prep is probably not the best idea. But, you know, at that point I'd pretty much just given up. Well, I didn't give up on the diet, I was just giving up on the fact that, I don't know, sleep wasn't going to get any better, so I may as well just fucking rail the caffeine. Anyway, at the moment, just getting through my final few check-ins. So clients fill out their spreadsheet. They fill out like this, like, kind of check-in form. They have a tracker here, which is kind of collating all of the general information, calories, all that kind of stuff. Track their training in their little tabs, and then also I get them to track their food in MyFitnessPal. And when I go into, say for example, somebody's if I click on somebody's name, and one of them is my clients, it's got view diary, and I can review what they've had for like however long I want to look at. Usually I'll look at a week, and yeah, it's pretty much what I review when I'm doing my check-ins, alongside of course any videos that are submitted. Obviously with online coaching, it's really important I'm able to see my clients move and, you know, train. So getting them to record videos in the gym is an important part of the process. Now, not everybody finds it very comfortable to do. Like, you know, obviously there's people who have never recorded themselves in their lives, and that comes very foreign. And I need to think of, and if you're a coach, you need to think of, what was it like for you the first time you ever walked into a gym and set up a tripod? Like, even to this day, if I go to a new gym and I put up my tripod, I still get a little bit kind of nervous. Like, and you do have to kind of like put yourself back in that position. That's something I always try to remind myself of. When I am coaching clients, new clients who are kind of a little bit hesitant to it. Is it going to make them better at training? Absolutely. If they can get feedback in their form, both from looking at things from a technical standpoint on how to perform the movement, but also how hard they're pushing themselves, right? I submit all my training videos to my coach John, and there's not a huge amount of things that he gets me to work on from a technical point of view, but what I get from submitting my videos to him is he gives me his perception of like my RPE rating, okay? And he has all these videos to look on of me, where I fail, where I struggle, and like over time I develop that skill in my clients too. I'm able to see, okay, this is what 1 rep for failure looks like for you, so I'm able to help them gauge your RPE a little bit better, or program for them a little bit better, or tell them maybe next week the load increase is not necessarily the best thing for you. And then for my hypertrophy based clients, the guys who want to gain muscle, again, it's a case of saying, okay, like, looks like we have 5 reps reserve here. Add a little bit more weight to that considerably next week, and it'll come back to me, and let's see how it's getting on. And over time, we'll get to the point where I'm like looking at the videos, I'm like, that's the exact training intensity we want to be aiming for. Keep on doing that. And it's this constant review process, and that's essentially what coaching is. It's, look, training is never going to end. Hopefully, you're going to be training until you are very, very old. You're going to be pursuing the goal of like getting stronger, more jacked for a long time. And it's good to have a review process because you need to know if you're getting better. Okay, and this is where the kind of check-ins come in so useful with my clients. A lot of my clients, they are, they've been training for years and they're experienced, but they need guidance with direction, with removing second guessing, and the odd time just need a little bit kick up the ass. It's very like a lot of people, a lot of us, myself included, will get complacent if we don't have somebody there just to kind of nudge us to be a little bit better. One thing that I struggle with big time when it does come to these rest days is actually pulling myself away from the laptop to eat. Like, once this competition is done, I am going to be doing a diet phase because once this competition is done, I am going to be doing a diet phase because you've seen on my tracker, I am at 100 kilos. And to be honest, I'm not liking how I look at 100 kilos. I definitely did rush it a little bit. But the reason I'm not like doing now is because I don't want to sacrifice, my training performance right now coming into competition. But one thing that I can't wait for after competition is just not eating as much. Because like I could miss this meal completely and go until 4, maybe 5 o'clock without eating. Because I just get into a good workflow, and like eating is almost like a distraction. But I have to, and I think one thing that is like important for me at least, and probably for other people to consider, is like when you don't take the break when you're supposed to, because you're looking to do a little bit more work, is that ultimately some of that work quality starts to suffer. Like I was sitting there for like the last 15 minutes looking at my laptop and was like, right, I'm going to do this next check-in. And I just like, I couldn't concentrate. And I was like, I should probably go eat. But I was like, I wouldn't mind finish my work. Eating and getting some nourishment into me, giving myself a little bit of a break is going to improve my work quality after I eat. So as well, it's going to keep me energized and keep me massive, which is obviously, where all these goals are working together. Okay, it looks like we are out of mince and I don't have many chicken thighs left, so I might be a little bit short on protein in this meal. But that's okay because I'll probably be getting insufficient amounts. So I'm going to have chicken thigh, bison mince, beans, rice, and some broccoli. So the reason I actually go towards this meal of the cooked rice, the beans, the meat, the broccoli, is that it just takes fuck all time. Like this takes maybe 15 minutes to prepare. So, if I'm already having a little bit of a barrier there with actually wanting to eat, the last thing I want to do is spend a huge amount of time actually preparing food. So that's why I would go for this meal. It's easy, it takes fuck all time to make. And if you don't have 15 minutes in a day to make a meal for yourself, you need to maybe plan out your day better. Alright, so there we have it now. Same as yesterday, you pretty much see it. Just a mixture of chicken thigh and beef or bison. Hi Emma, what's up? Want to say hello? No? Anyway, as I mentioned, something quick to make. Didn't necessarily want to get up from my desk to make it. And this is one thing that probably comes up a decent amount of times with clients, is that I think it's a kind of misconception that people who are, in the coaching sphere don't struggle the way maybe their clients do. All right. So naturally enough, I'm not necessarily always motivated to act on everything to do with my goals. However, I understand the importance of where each part of my day kind of fits into the overall goal. All right. So say for example, if I decided to just sit at my desk and play on with work and miss this meal, well then what would happen is then eventually I'd finish my work. It would get to 3 o'clock, half 3,
and then I'd have to eat a big meal, and then another big meal, and then another big meal, all really close together. That's going to affect my digestion. It's going to make it very difficult for me to finish all those meals and get all those calories in. If I do that too often, it's going to impact my adherence. And if I do that too often as well, what ends up happening is just everything else I want to get done for today gets, like, it gets put on the back burner, not on the back burner, but it gets delayed. Okay, I may have to miss my walk because I, again, didn't get up off my ass and prioritize what I set to do on my schedule. So when you are kind of mapping out your day, try to, or not try to, commit to what you write out on the plan, okay? Commit to the breaks when you say you're going to do the breaks. One of the reasons that time blocking out your day works so well is because it does give you urgency within the day. If you say, I'm going to commit the next 2 hours to work, that means you are going to try your best effort. You're going to try your best to put your full effort into working for those 2 hours, okay? Because you only have 2 hours to get your work done, it's more likely that you're going to increase your efficiency of getting it done. It's Parkinson's law. However, if you don't abide to that, well then, again, you're kind of not abiding to what you said you commit to, then down the road, that is going to affect, again, adherence to overall plan. So that's one of the reasons I kind of time blocking this out, kind of committing to the timelines that you're setting out for yourself on a daily basis will have knock-on impacts to the wider goal, because, again, it affects your adherence. Again, if I miss all these meals and I'm going to bed later, Emma will end up hating me, and that won't be a happy household, would it? No. Yeah, exactly. So you heard it from the boss. Anyway, to abide by my timeline, I'm going to eat this meal, and then I am going to finish my work, and then I'll go for a walk, and that'll be my rest day pretty much complete. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that rant. I'm going to enjoy this meal.
Meal number 3, some chocolate milk, banana, and some whey. No specific reason for using this whey. It's simply just we want to get rid of everything out of the house. So I have about 40 grams of that, and I'm going to have a few of these. These sound way nicer than they actually are. They are literally just rice cakes with some mild flavouring. Alright, next on the agenda, it is 6 p.m. and we are going to start packing. I don't have a huge amount of clothes, thankfully. One thing you will probably find out soon enough is I don't actually have that many clothes. I pretty much repeat the same clothes over and over again. But I do have a lot of clothes. I just wear the same stuff all the time. Stuff I throw into the wash recently is easy to take out again. Yeah, I'm a man of simple needs. But yeah, we're gonna get into some packing here. It is hard to believe that this is like my last Monday. This is my last Monday check-in day in this house. Look, on to brighter days. Can't wait to move to Spain. It's gonna be amazing. This is pretty much all of my clothes in one suitcase. Now I do have a drawer here. It looks pretty much all black because most of my clothes are black. Just that's literally everything. Bottoms, socks, jocks, t-shirts, everything. Got fuck all clothes. So that is Monday pretty much wrapped up. I'm going to end today's vlog there, and we'll catch up tomorrow. I'm once again just walking to the shop as I do every single damn day. We always need something in the shop, and to be honest, it kind of gives me a reason to go out and do some steps, so it's not really the worst thing in the world. It's kind of funny just doing all the packing there. Like, it's hard to believe we've been here a year and we are now going to be leaving, because I don't know, it's just weird. Moving country it's definitely something I'd recommend, because look, the world is fucking massive, and like, if you only ever experience living in your own country, or like your own like county or state or whatever, it does kind of limit you to experiencing a lot of different things. Like this year, for example, or last year, when we were over in the States, we were able to like go to the Arnold, we were able to go to like the Olympia, WNBF Worlds. There's lots of things that we wouldn't have otherwise done realistically. So it's definitely worthwhile doing.
you know, again, kind of traveling to, I went to New York twice. So yeah, it was it's definitely been a full experience, but I'm really looking forward to getting closer to Europe, getting closer to family, friends, and everything like that. But yeah, we'll finish up the packing over the next few days. But for now, we'll get this walk done. I'll see you tomorrow.